Hello my friends, and welcome to Tom's Tinkering and Adventures. Well, I've been knocking out some good honey-do list items and really been staying busy between that. Keep working projects in the garage. But I was looking around the house and I remember I promised my lovely lady that I was going to make some picture frames. And the first picture I saw that I should make a frame for is one of my daughter and my son-in-law and my granddaughter. So kind of neat here. We got this thick, I guess it's already wrapped around kind of a frame, but I want to build a wood frame around this. So I have got a little homemade lumber rack I got up here. So I'm gonna grab my ladder and hop up here and see what I can use to make a pretty simple picture frame. So let me get the ladder, go up there, drag down a couple pieces and see what I got. I dug around and found some different boards. I was just gonna make just a plain wood and then stain it, but I measured this and I'm not gonna have enough length on that board. But I do have a bunch of this baseboard material here, and I think this could make a nice looking frame. So we'll give her a try. For this, I am going to use my DeWalt compound miter saw. So let me get that out, we'll set it up, and we'll start making some cuts. To get started, we're going to cut a 45-degree cut on this face piece. And also want to check to make sure that your compound angle here is at 0. That's the angle of the saw blade this way, and the 45 is the angle this way. That's why it's a compound miter saw. So we will set this up here and engage safety squints. Make sure safety first. Keep your fingers out of the saw area. This guard isn't going to help much if they're down here, so keep your fingers out of there. After you do some measuring and decide how much overlap you want over your picture and that sort of thing, that's when you need to cut your next cut. Now, don't go over to the saw and make another cut because you're going to make the wrong angle. So you can do one of two things. You can cut it, flip it over, or you can turn your angle this way. So I'm just going to flip it over and cut this side this way. We should be all right. Now that I have one of the long sides, I can just use this piece here and replicate it for the other side of it. So for the other side, I'm just going to replicate this one, and then we'll measure our top and bottom pieces. Let me knock out another side, and we'll be right back here. Now I have a left and a right side, and they are as close to exactly the same as we're going to be able to get here. Actually, when I cut them, I put them one on top of the other, matched one side up, and then cut the other side so that they were perfect. And now one of the scrap pieces that I had, I actually already cut the correct 45 on it, so now all I have to do is make the measurement on the picture frame as to how much overlap I want, and then make the cut. So I'll do a little bit of measuring. We'll cut this one, and then I have this whole other piece here to make the top and or bottom, whichever one it might be. So we'll get those two cut the same, and then we'll figure out a way to attach this. Well, here's what we look like just held together. So I need to decide how I am going to attach this to this picture. So one idea I had, let me see if I can set this up here, is to cut another frame and set this all on it like that. And this picture is the exact same thickness as that board. As long as this board is the right width, and it very well may be. And then all I'll have to do is drive a couple of nails through this thing with my air nailer. So I'm gonna give that a shot, see how that looks. All right, so I've already started. I cut up that board and I cut them to the same outside size as this, and I nailed them on with my air nailer. Now the board I had was not big enough to make 4 sides, so I had to get another board for this one, and it's a little bit narrower, but it's gonna be okay. So I'm just lining it up on the corners and on the outside edge. This is going to kind of give the frame a perception that it's deep. At least that's my thoughts on it. And then I'm going to go around and I'm going to put wood glue on all the corners, and then I'm going to air nail all 4 corners together. And then the picture is going to fit inside of here like this. And as you can see, it's at the same level as this, so I can just hang the picture up, and this frame is just going to sit on the outside of it. And I'm probably going to make some little tabs to go over this, but let me get the glue and start nailing this thing together and see how it looks. Well, it's not my best effort. The corners didn't turn out as good as I'd hoped, but I set in all the nails with the nail set. I'm going to go around, put some wood, plastic wood putty on there, and then I'm going to paint the whole thing. So I'll come back after I got it painted and maybe it'll look a little bit better. So I was trying to decide on what I was going to use to hold the picture to the frame. And of course you can buy stuff for that, but you know, I dug all this stuff out of the rafters, and I'm just kind of using the old recycle and reuse and innovate. So I was having a usual cold beverage here in the garage, and I looked down and I thought, well, maybe I could use that. Maybe I can use that. What do you think? Yeah, beer tabs look like they're going to hold that in there just fine. And after a coat of paint, it doesn't look half bad. Paint filled in some of the imperfections, and yeah, I've got $0 invested in it. So a little bit of time, a little bit of fun in the garage, and now I got a frame on the picture. So now I'm gonna hang it up, and we'll see how long until my lovely wife notices this. And I am not going to, I'll make a conclusion to this when she notices it. So this video, I'm gonna hold off on it, hold off, just relax. And I will end the video saying how many days it took her to notice it. It took exactly 10 days for her to notice the picture frame up there. But you know what? I'm not going to get upset about it. I mean, how often do you really notice stuff around the house? And my wife's a busy lady. She comes home, she goes and works out after that. You know, no problem. So she noticed it, she said it looked nice, so there you have it. Thank you very much for watching. Get out there and find your adventure. Adios.